Welcome back, everyone. This is Nate. On Today, we are here at the Cape Fear Museum in Wilmington, North Carolina. On my other, I have another video. I've been traveling up here, so go back and watch that on my travels up here. But we're about to walk into the museum. There will be a video. This will be, like I said before, this will be a separate video on the museum. So come along with us today. Let's go in the museum and see what they have in here. And this is some of the, this is the first exhibit that has sextants, trunks, tickets, dead eyes, and cranks. We actually have a lantern like that. My mom and daddy does. And that was luggage from a long time ago. We actually got a trunk like that too. And this is some of the dinnerware on a train. No, I'm sorry, passenger air flight. Piedmont. And this is dinnerware from the 1800s on a train. And this is the Palo Indian period. This is some of the spearheads, stone heads that was found. And this is the Arctic period. This is some of the arrowheads. It says 8,000 to 6,000 BC. That's an arrowhead, stone from 2000. That's it was like an axe head from 2000 BC. A knife from around 2000 BC. That is a stone idol weight from 5000 to 1000 BC. And this is they're showing they're throwing spears. And this is the buried past. Archaeologists have discovered techniques the underneath past that is buried underneath us. And this is a canoe. It's part of a canoe that was buried during the woodland period. And this is doing an excavation. In 1977. And this is some of the things that was used to cut down the longleaf pines. That would have been tough. Axe, about 1900, a worker used an axe like this one to make first cuts into the tree. The cut was angled downward to channel oozing resin towards the box. This step is called kerning, and I guess this is the box right here. And this right here, we're gonna try to piece this back together. This is an exhibit that show we can put a pot back together. This is tough. Because you gotta find it's like a puzzle. No, that don't fit. That don't fit. Oh, I think it does. No, it don't. It don't. It don't match up. That don't match. It don't match either. This is tough. We'll come back to you when we figure it out. Now, we went here the other day. This is Brunswick town. We went there the other day. In 1725, the South Carolinian Maurice Moore founded the first port town in southeast North Carolina on the banks of the Cape Fear River. Brunswick town was named after British King George I, a member of the House of Brunswick. It was established as a small part of the large tract of land Maurice and his brother Roger owned. So this is some of the stuff they found. A clay pipe bowl, straight pins and thimbles around 1730. This is glass tumbler around 1730. Bottle fragment around 1730. This is tile around 1730. And these are tools they used back then for planes, draw knives, long joiner planer, copperhead axe, a copper adze, a brace. That looks like a screwdriver right there. That's a compass. And this is the port of trade. And I clicked on, let me show you. I clicked on this and it actually shows you where it comes from in England. This is line fabric. So I'm going to click on it here. And that's where it shows you it came from in England. And it has manufactured goods imported from Britain. Now I'm going to click on that one. I guess it's got to stop. Oh, okay, never mind. It comes from the same place, Britain. And the next one is sugar, rum, and slaves. I'll click on this one. That's where it comes from, the Caribbean. And this one is America at War, and you can actually spin and see which side you are on. This is a wheel, and it's information right here, and you spin it. You can either be a merchant planter, a lawyer, a slave on the run, merchant planter, a slave who stayed, or a merchant planter. So let's give it a try. Let's see. Okay, I think I spun it a little bit too fast. Okay, any day now. I think I spun it a little bit too fast. It says, I am a lawyer. You are a Wilmington lawyer you and your wife are related to Stonick, a loyal and ardent patriot. After some hesitation, you side with the patriots. So I'm a lawyer. And this right here is called a Wilmington blockade. This was a blockade runner ship. Model of 1863 blockade runner. Dare. It says track record. This is building the railroad. And that's some of the railroad parts and stuff. A wrench, railroad, 1910. A switch iron from 1904. And this was some of the tracks from Wilmington to Raleigh, Wilmington to Rufford, and Wilmington to Manchester. And this is the diagram of the tracks. And this little exhibit right here is showing some of the stuff that says letters from home. And I guess this is where the people would newsboy, because it's haystack infantry, the 1862 troop issued. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is a troop. This is what he carried. I'm sorry. And number 2 is embroidered type, 1865. 4 is pipe and ring. It was excavated at Fort Fisher. So the ring is inside that right there. And 5 is a pocket Bible. You always need the Word of God with you. 6 is a yarn ball used by soldiers to play games, ball games. It's about there in the very back. 7 is a hand mirror, 1865. And 8 is a card deck, 1830 to 1850. Now these cars, they're a little bit different from what we have today.
The plan is simple. Sailors and Marines will charge across the beach and strike the fort's corner where the land and sea face meet. The Army will assault Fort Fisher's land face next to the river. The fleet will sound steam whistles to begin the attack. The battle begins as sailors and Marines charge down the beach. Confederate riflemen greet the sailors and Marines with a volley of hot lead. Another volley quickly followed, and another. A soldier later described the scene as pitiful. Dead and wounded officers and men, as far as one could see. The Southern cause was hopeless. The outcome inevitable. Finally, at about 10 o'clock that evening, the few hundred Confederates still fighting surrendered. The heroic Battle of Fort Fisher was over. Almost 1,500 Northern and 500 Southern troops lay dead or wounded. An eyewitness reported the dead were lying around the fort, quite numerous, half covered with sand, many dreadfully mangled. Blue and gray alike fought with stubborn bravery. Fort Fisher's fall ended blockade running into Wilmington. It also hastened the war's end. 5 weeks later, Wilmington fell to the advancing Northern Army. Less than 2 months after that, in April 1865, General Robert E. Lee surrendered his army at Appomattox Courthouse, Virginia. After 4 long years, the Civil War finally drew to a close.
Now, I think that's pretty cool right there. They actually, I don't know if you can see it, but they actually have an iPhone. The first iPhone that come out. I don't know why they got it in that case like that. But I like that. Look at the vintage video camera. But that's an iPhone back in 2008. That's what the case said. I don't know why they got it so bright. You probably can't see it, but this exhibit right here is called Fire. She told us down there at the very bottom that they have a new exhibit, and this is it. This is explaining the science of fire, which I think is pretty cool. It's explaining how fire is made, hydrocarbon, carbon dioxide, and the water is actually evaporated out of it. Now, this is the first time I've seen a microwave back in 1978. I remember those baking dishes. My mama still has those. A toaster in the 1920s, a toaster in the 1950s. Oh, we still use those heating pads. We still have those. Frying pans from the 1960s. Baking dish from the 1970s. And let me ask you a question. Who in the world would go down to the Walmart, because this is where this came from, a grill at Walmart, and put it in a museum? And it says, this is Thomas Robinson, turned over his helmet and gear in 2000. And this is his gear. And this is Francis Voorhees. Turned over their gear in about 1985. And this is a Civil Airport suit, about 1985. And actually, you can touch it. You have a piece of it you can touch. It feels weird. It feels like I'd hate to be in that. The guy's name was Jack, too. And this is rubber turnout gear about 1930. And I gotta show this. This museum is Smithsonian affiliated. And this is the Michael Jordan exhibit. You know, they couldn't have a exhibit without him, because he's from North Carolina. I didn't know he played basketball or football. But that's some of his shoes. That's first Jordans back in '87. That's a notebook back in '83. And this is their space exhibit. It's talking about the International Space Station. So it says, welcome to space. They have mirrors in here where you can put your face in or you look in it. And this is the ones on the International Space Station. They have a balance test that I'm going to try right here. It says step on the board, press the red button, grab the bar, and balance yourself. The timer will start when the board is level. So let's try it. Oh. I'm not good. I can't do this. And I think that's going to do it for this one. We walked around the Cape Fear Museum. It's a lot in there. It's a lot to see. So they are here in Wilmington. So I think they're open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And they have little things that they do. They have little walls. I didn't get to go in some of those rooms. But they have different things that you can come, like events you can come to. So, like I said, this is it for this one. Be safe. God bless. And I'll see you on the next one.